What's good, everybody? Y'all know the crew, so let's start our review with Bob Marley One Love. Um, might be a short review, depending how everybody's thoughts of this movie was. So, I thought the movie. Let's put it this way: the film starts in the middle of a movie and does not have a beginning. If you're someone who's heard of Bob Marley, familiar with his music, and really want to know the person, this film is not for you. It's more. Let's put it this way: this film's going to confuse you from the start. One Love does not have that emotional spark that I was hoping this would be. This does not feel like a complete film because there are a lot of editing issues. Some of the scenes are probably left on the cutting room floor. This film is very short, and when it finds its positive strides, the film's already over. The director, Ronaldo Marcus Green, he's best known for King Richard by Will Smith. He does know how to direct and edit and knows how to edit, but I think he didn't have creative say. Kind of similar with King Richard, where like the family was involved with King Richard. This felt like the executive producers had like the Marley family, Ziggy Marley, the wife Rita Marley, and I think one of the granddaughters in this as well, who are executive producers. So, and there's like four people who wrote this movie, so it just didn't have like a story or its own footing to really like tell you what it wanted to tell you about Bob Marley, or just to get you to know about this person. It was really that was my biggest frustration part about this movie. The positives, I thought Kingsley Benair was okay. It did take me some time to buy him as Bob Marley because there are moments in this movie where like it just feels like he's just impersonating Bob Marley and not really being Bob Marley. I think that had more to do with the script than the actual actor. I thought Lashana Lynch, who plays his wife, Rita Marley, she was really good in this. There's a few scenes I really like with her, especially some stuff towards the end between this big confrontation her and Bob Marley has. Uh, Ben Kingsley, Kingsley Benair had really good chemistry with Lashana Lynch. Like I said, it just didn't have just didn't have that story. The last 40 minutes is really good, but like I said, it just cuts. It just ends unannounced, and you just kind of left there going like, what happened? And um, One Love does not focus on trying to make a good film, though. It's about Bob Marley, One Love, trying to focus on his celebration of his life, what he stood for, the impact of of what he meant to Jamaica, the impact of a global standpoint. It just focused on one specific time period that this movie was really focusing on during a big tough time in Jamaica, and that's really what the focus was, and really focus on just the symbol that Bob Marley was and what he stood for, basically. Um, I would say if you're gonna check this movie out, wait until it goes to Paramount Plus because this was a Paramount movie distribute. It'll probably go on Paramount Plus at some point, so I would say wait for it to come on Paramount Plus. Maybe when it comes on digital, check it out on digital to rent. But I would also say check out the 2012 Marley documentary, which gives you a much better insight of who Bob Marley was. If you want to know more about the man and the legend and the myth, they'll give you some much better insights of who he was. Um, Overall, I would say my score for this film, again, it's just a fine film. It's not bad. It's not bad, just fine. I want to say it's okay, but just fine. So my score for this is a 5.5 out of 10.
All right. So I'd recently gotten into Bob Marley's music. Is honestly, it had helped me during a difficult time of my life. Just hearing like this very like happy, upbeat, positive music with a message. I love what I heard from him. Like, is this love? Could you be loved? Three Little Birds. I Shot the Sheriff. Stand Up for Your Right. Just friggin' classics. And I'm not even a big reggae guy. I had a feeling Bob Marley One Love was going to be a generic biopic, and yeah, it was. Shocker, another one. It's not horrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just nothing special. There are positives, such as the wonderful songs by Marley used throughout the movie. I was dancing a little. I was dancing a little in my seats whenever the songs came on. Acting was fine. They did a good job making Marley as likable as he was in real life. And I love that cameo from The Clash. Unfortunately, despite Marley's family being a part of the production and approving the film, they should have picked a script that was less generic. It hits a lot of the tropes you'd see from a lot of biopics, especially the ending of with the artist getting ready to perform a concert and then the text saying, "This person died from this, yada, yada, yada." How many movies have ended like that now? Come on. They played it way too safe. In my opinion, the worst part of the movie was the atrocious editing. So choppy, so obnoxious, and just sloppily put together. Like the flashbacks to Marley's life felt a lot more random than actually being a huge part of the story. In fact, they're put in like these really like weird spots, and they kept using the same scenes over and over again. It felt like they were trying to focus more on his politics than his actual life. I mean, his music was very political, sure. But if you're doing advertising a movie based off his life, I want to know more about his life. And the reason I said the acting was fine and not good, the accents were so fucking hard to understand. I didn't know what the hell anybody was saying. There are scenes where like Bob is screaming at his wife or screaming at his manager. And I'm like, what? Can we have some subtitles? Like, why didn't you cast like an actual Jamaican to play him? I'm sure there are Jamaican actors out there, and they can't be that hard to find. And I also find it weird, despite the movie being called Bob Marley One Love, the song doesn't appear until the end credits. Like, what? In conclusion, yeah, like I said, this was nothing special. It's mediocre. If you're curious or a huge fan of Bob Marley's music, you're better off streaming this one. 5 out of 10.
Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my review. Oh, by the way, to our viewers, yes, I have officially moved. So I'm living with my fiance. So this is the new setup. Just wanted to check that out. Okay. All right, so let's see. Bob Marley One Love. Let me say right off the bat that I am not a massive Bob Marley fan. I mean, just like Elvis, I have nothing against the guy and I respect everything he's done, but his music isn't my thing per se. With that being said, I will say that when I saw the trailer for it, yeah, I was getting kind of worried for it because I figured I've been burnt out by generic paint by numbers biopic films, movies like, I Want to Dance with Somebody and such. It just felt like according to the trailer, it looks like this movie would fall suit. Was I right? Absolutely. Though not the most formulaic biopic ever. Um, the mu- the music was really good. I mean, the sets were really good. Cinematography that was all well done. Performances were The performances were fine. Um, Although there is one problem I have with like the performances, but I will say that Kingsley Ben Ader, he does look like a young Bob Marley. So, and while I would have preferred like a real Jamaican actor to play him, it's like he does well enough for what he's done. But like I said, there is one issue with it, along with some of the other performances, which I'll get to soon. Um, Now, for my negatives, I will say that in terms of what doesn't work in this film, I feel like the biggest thing is that it plays itself too safe. It's like I said at the beginning, it's just while not the most formulaic biopic ever, does fall in that blend of like forgettable formulaic biopic films. It just nothing stands out about it. Plays itself way too safe. And not to mention, I saw this movie last night, and honestly, I forgot everything that happened with it. Like Devin said, the editing was super obnoxious. There are so many quick cuts in this movie that was giving me flashbacks to 2018's Bohemian Rhapsody. And as Devin said, the dialogue was honestly the biggest reason why I have a problem with the performances is that the dialogue was super difficult to understand. I don't know if it was like if I'm just stupid or if I'm not or if I wasn't paying attention or something, but I honestly couldn't understand what the characters were saying underneath the heavy Jamaican accents. It's just honestly, it was very difficult to understand for me. Overall, while no, this movie is not bad, and while it's not the worst biopic or even the most safe, it doesn't do anything to stand out, and I feel like I'm not going to remember anything that happens with it um, within maybe a few weeks or so, whatever. If you're a big Bob Marley fan and want to see it, I'd say wait for streaming, though you're really not missing much if you decide to skip it. And my score is a 5 out of 10.
His score isn't gone. Okay. All right. So, Bob Marley One Love. I didn't see it. But what I can do is give you a review of the greatest cinematic masterpiece this year will ever see is Madam Web. Okay, so Madam Web.
Let me in. Let me in.
Yeah, wrong review.
We're not reviewing that.
Yeah, definitely not that.
We're not watching that garbage.
Nope. So, unfortunately, KitchenAid Whiskey Jones, or fortunately, I don't know. So Mark could not join us for our review, but however, he did send a recording of him. He did send a recording of himself, giving his thoughts, and we will play it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. I already got it pulled up.
You got it? All right, perfect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So here is KitchenAid Whiskey Jones's review of Bob Marley One Love.
Sorry I couldn't be there to with you on the stream. I am currently sitting out at downtown Fayetteville, just outside the Cameo Art House Theater. I'm about to see the Oscar-nominated films for live-action short films. So I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. But anyway, about Bob Marley, I was cautiously optimistic about this film at first. I was excited to be getting a biopic about Bob Marley, but on the other hand, we all know that the musical biopic genre, as we've discussed before, has grown very stale and very trite, full of the same tropes. And I was worried that this might be the same, that it wouldn't really do him justice. And when I first saw the film, it actually had some real strengths. It was nice that the family was involved, that they approved of the film. The acting was really good. Kingsley Ben-Adir was very good. I thought Lashana Lynch is, of course, Lashana Lynch, but she's fantastic as always. But the more, so when I left the theater, I liked the film. I didn't love it, but I liked it. But the more I thought about it, the more the warts started to appear, and the more the warts started to appear, I saw the flaws more and more, and at first, I thought it was a good thing that they focused on just a rather brief key period of his life around the Smile Jamaica concert, and but at the same time, but because normally with a biopic, you just cannot tell an entire person's life story in 2 hours. It's just not realistic. So I generally prefer focusing on one key episode, and generally that allows you to get more character development. But because you're focusing on just that episode rather than the person's entire life. But in this case, I think it actually harmed the film because instead what we got was just a caricature of Bob Marley. He was presented rather one-dimensionally. He was really kind of sanitized. We didn't get to see Bob Marley the radical, Bob Marley the revolutionary. Instead, we just got Bob Marley, the guy who tried to bring people together for peace, which is, yes, of course, an important part of his legacy. He certainly deserves his time in the sun. He certainly deserves praise. But I think it would have been nice to get a fuller, more well-rounded portrait of the man. The classic case I think of is Martin Luther King Jr. I used to think he was rather uninteresting when I thought he was just, kind of the one-dimensional man of peace. But then you look a little deeper and find out there's a lot more to the story. That this was actually a very bold strategy. That there was a lot of depth to the man. Once you find out more about the person, they become a lot more interesting. I think that could have been the case here, but unfortunately, that's not what you get. So ultimately, it feels like, honestly, like as I said in my review on Letterboxd, it feels like the Wikipedia summary of Bob Marley. It feels like he's just been sanitized and scrubbed up for public consumption. That's it. So, I mean, if the family's happy with it, that's great. So, but I mean, honestly, I think you're better off just watching the 2012 documentary, Bob Marley. So, that's pretty much that. And my score is a rather mediocre 5 out of 10. I guess the only good thing I could say about the film is at least I was able to introduce my son to Bob Marley. But hopefully I can use that as a jumping off point to go a lot more in depth than the film did. So, but see you later, and hope to see you next week.
And that was Mark.
That was right.
Yeah. So, I was watching over. He was watching over us like he was Big Brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Still here presently. And you guys mentioned the accents, the Jamaican accents. Ryan, that it was hard to understand, but I did like that it was more authentic. Like it wasn't goofy or anything. It just seemed like authentic, like the way their accent was pretty good. But it was just, again, you couldn't understand them, but I thought that it was believable. A lot believable than trying to sound goofy just so people can hear what they're trying to say.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really good. There's one scene that really stood out that really bugged the hell out of me. Was when Bob Marley was kicking his one of his right-hand men friends, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that part.
Times, and you just didn't know what exactly was going on. Like you knew something was up, but they never really revealed what he was trying to do. We know it was something to do with Africa and money, but we didn't know how did Bob Marley find out? Like there's just something there missing with that whole scene. Like it didn't feel. I just felt blank, knowing like, okay, what did he do? I'm hearing him ramble, but what did he actually do?
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like that.
I guess he was making sketchy financial decisions behind his back.
That's what I
Maybe,
thought.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was just so. I feel like there was like so many scenes like left on the cutting room floor. You just didn't know what. I just didn't know what was going on between him and his friend. The other thing that bugged me is that there was no beginning. Like once the movie started, you just have a couple of texts just telling you like 1970, was it 70s, 4 or 5, whatever it was, and they're like, this was the moment that changed Bob Marley's life. And already he's established as a musician. He has his agent. He has his manager. He has all these people, and I'm just kind of lost, going like, okay, how do we get to this? Just felt like I was watching the middle of a movie than the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like where did his fame? Like, I want to know how he got the way he was. Like it's already the beginning of the movie, and he already gets shot.
Right.
Yeah.
That should be like towards like the getting end of the second act.
Yeah.
That should be like in the middle.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
just way too early.
absolutely. It was kind of like you just didn't feel for his wife when his wife was shot, and you didn't really feel you didn't care for those scenes where like Bob Marley's in the hospital, really worried about Rita. You just didn't care about any of those things because it's just the movie just started the first 20-25 minutes.
Mm.
Like nothing felt built up or just had that emotional impact that I think they thought that people were going to get from this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't as bad as I want to dance with somebody, because like how Mark described this movie, that movie was what went on Wikipedia and dumped into AI, and that was the script.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's I mean, I would still this one is not as super formulaic as that one is, because honestly, it was so when I was watching I Want to Dance with Someone, I could easily tell what was going to happen, no problem. And I was able to do it here, although maybe not as much, but
Yeah.
I can't comment about Bohemian Rhapsody because I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Am I
You're not
lucky
missing
that I
much.
didn't see it?
You're not missing much.
I mean, I've seen it. This is what like the difference between between what Bob Marley did and what Bohemian Rhapsody did. At least you got a little more of a Bohemian Rhapsody. With this one, like once the concert starts, the peace concert and everything, and just cuts it out, it kind of, at least Bohemian Rhapsody, it's like the same kind of ending, so to speak. Like it ends almost similar to the way Bob Marley ended. It didn't really go into the whole concert. Like Bohemian Rhapsody gave you a little bit of it, but didn't go fully like with Bob Marley, it just cuts off before they can do anything.
Yeah.
Like it says something like the best biopic we got very recently was a parody of formulaic biopics. That was Weird the Al Yankovic Story. Like we gave that an overwhelmingly positive review.
We did, yeah.
Right.
Like that wasn't trying to be a serious movie, and it was a lot better than most biopics we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd still say my favorite would probably be either Rocket Man, or if I don't know if this one counts, but Amadeus.
There's Rocket Man. There's Amadeus. And I mean, going to parody biopic. I mean, another one. I know you mentioned Weird the Al Yankovic Story, but another one I thought of is Walk Hard, Dewey Cox Story. It's pretty much supposed to be like a parody of like those biopics, kind of thing. And that was it was with John C. Reilly and all.
I don't know if you guys seen Aretha Franklin. Respect. I like that one a lot. I don't know if you've seen that one.
And
I haven't seen it.
I also like the there was also the I also like the Walk the Line. Have you guys seen that movie?
That's on my list.
No.
Walk the Line with Johnny Cash. Or
Johnny Cash.
playing Johnny Cash, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen parts of that movie. I meant to check that movie out. I heard it's good though.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it when the randomizer tells me to.
This is Devin. All hail, great randomizer. What should I watch next? Nothing.
I've seen the
Randomizer.
I've seen the movie The Doors, which is pretty
Talk
good.
about the randomizer. I just think of that episode of SpongeBob. All hail the great magic conch.
All hail the magic conch. Yeah, I heard the Doors was pretty good. My stepdad likes that movie.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Doors is
Val
with
Kilmer. He killed it.
Yeah, Val
That is
Kilmer,
also on the watch list.
Yeah, it's really good performance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Elvis.
Liked Elvis, even though the editing was obnoxious in that one too. But then again, it's Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, I have I have a feeling because they announced they're doing a movie of Reba Winehouse.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait, Reba
About
Winehouse.
Amy
Winehouse?
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy
I was gonna
Winehouse,
say-
yes.
Okay.
Reba, I thought
Why
about
does-
Reba, the country singer, for a second.
When you said Aretha Winehouse, I was like, who?
I had a long day at work.
It's all good, man.
No excuse.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they're doing they're doing the movie about Amy Winehouse Back to Black, and I have a feeling it's gonna be another generic biopic.
Have you guys seen Love and Mercy? Lego fan 370 mentioned Love and Mercy.
Oh, John. Yeah, John mentioned. Haven't seen it. So
Same. Sorry. It's on the list.
I was gonna say John's pretty much gonna be like, "How dare you not see this?"
I plan on watching Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton, that's a
Straight
good
Outta
one.
Compton's
Yes,
a great one too.
Straight
Yeah.
Outta Compton, that's a great one.
I plan on watching Ray.
Ray, yes.
Ray's another great one. Shame on me
That
for
is a-
forgetting those
that
two
is Ray's
movies.
great one.
Two, those are great movies. Yeah. Although Straight Outta Compton, even though it's my only issue with that movie is the disrespect they gave Eazy-E.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The whole movie is basically about Eazy-E being like crapped on the entire movie.
Yeah,
But that's what you get when you have Dr. Dre and Ice Cube making that movie.
yeah.
Um,
Even though, I mean, also fun fact, Ice Cube's son played Ice Cube in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned, you guys mentioned it before about Kingsley Ben-Adir playing Bob Marley. Like, I would have preferred like somebody of his own kids, maybe his grandchildren, somebody maybe that have the talent.
Like Ziggy Marley.
Just anybody, yeah, anybody from the Marleys like that could really pull it off.
I don't know when
I don't know anybody
when I
that,
went
like-
to see this. Did you guys get that intro at the theater
Yes.
where Ziggy Marley comes out and says
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, you did too."
yeah,
And so basically, what you'll want is kind of what they're doing with the upcoming Michael Jackson movie, where his nephew is playing him.
yeah, makes sense.
Yes, John. How dare we?
Like, I've seen like some of the set photos. Dude, it's like spitting image.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm waiting until I see a trailer or teaser. I feel like it's just out of context right now.
Gotcha.
I want to see more of what they're trying to do. But yeah, he does look a little bit like him, which that's why I'm like, why didn't they just get somebody from the Marley family who maybe has talent to act? I mean, a lot of them are involved in music, entertainment, sports. Like, I would think maybe one of them could at least, if they look a little bit like him, maybe could try to pull it off as Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I'm gonna pull up a picture.
Here is Michael Jackson and his nephew.
God damn, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope they don't find a way to screw this up.
Yeah.
too.
Same here.
Even the actress who plays Amy Winehouse, I don't know, I forgot who's playing her, but she kind of looks a little bit like her as well.
Yeah. Are you guys ever planning to see the Amy Winehouse movie?
I plan on checking it out. I've heard.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe.
I just feel like
Well, I guess it depends on. I guess it depends on like if I'm able to. So if I'm able to, and if I don't got anything to do, then sure, why not?
I'll probably catch on like, I don't know, like a Monday.
Yeah.
Usually the theaters are pretty empty on a Monday
Yeah.
afternoon.
I mean, like I said, it will really depend. It will really depend on how everything is for me. So we'll see.
another biopic that I really like. This is an older one that came out back in like 2003 or 4. It was B.I.G. by Biggie biopic. That was another.
Oh yes, Notorious. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Iron
That was
Notorious is
another
very,
good
very
one,
good.
Yeah, it was
Notorious
really good.
is really good. Yes.
That was another good one. Just to throw that a shout out.
Yeah, we all and Rob can confirm this. We know what's not a good biopic. Blonde.
I was gonna say All Eyes on Me by Tupac. I've never seen it, but I refuse to see it because I've heard how horrible it was. That was another one.
I think Rome. You can agree with me that
Blonde?
Blonde is absolute shit.
Oh
yeah.
my god, yeah, I've seen that movie. Oh,
Ugh.
I heard after hearing what Rob was saying about the movie and like the subject matter, straight to the graveyard.
Yeah, no, All Eyes on Me is horrible. Like, I'm a big Tupac fan, grew up in hip hop, and that is one of the worst biopics movies. I did not want to see. A friend of mine seen it. He told me he wishes he never saw the movie.
But I mean, Devin, just know that if you thought The Whale was too exploitive, Blonde is exploitive to the max.
Oh yeah,
and it's longer too. 167
it's longer.
minutes.
Very yeah.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about Bob Marley One Love? I mean, the music was great. I love the music in it.
The music was good, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was disappointed I didn't get to hear "Could You Be Loved."
Yeah,
because I think it's my favorite song by them. I did love earlier, like I said earlier, when I loved the bit when they were in London and we saw the Clash performing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big punk guy. They're the ones that are, because that's one of the songs they did. Why right? I want to write. Why right? Da 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 da. Why right? I want to write. Some good old fashioned British punk. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, obviously, the songs by him are great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the one thing I think that really helped the movie for audience to get into that last 40, 45 minutes. That's when I noticed the audience were really getting into the movie because the music was really helping some of the scenes to really get people more interested in the movie. And then Kingsley Bendera really kind of found his strides to really make you believe he was a young Bob Marley. Some of the people in my theater were like were pissed when the movie just cuts off at the part where like they're on the stage and the text comes up saying that he died by cancer. Things like that. I was just like, oh, that sucks. Like you didn't really like that was the movie. So. Or
yeah, there could have been a better way to wrap things up then.
Yeah.
Performance. He died of cancer. The end.
Yeah, or like Rastafari as well, because I didn't really go into his beliefs and everything, because he had cancer in his foot. So that was the one thing like they didn't really go into. Why didn't he get why didn't he get his he would still get his foot amputated or whatnot, but like they didn't really go into what he believed in and all these different things of why he chose to live with the pain instead of like doing something about it. I don't know if that was because they were afraid of going through a religious thing and upset people because they're making some things about religion, but that was another thing I kind of felt like they were missing something about who Bob Marley was. Because he died by cancer, and then it's just I just wish they kind of explain more of his beliefs and why he chose not to take care of himself when he had cancer.
I know he did I know because I watched his last performance. Despite like the cancer basically like taking over him, he sounded great.
Yeah, I would say that would be the only thing that I wish they would really explore more of.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. It's another one, another generic biopic.
It is another one. Yeah.
So, want to wrap up? I feel like that's pretty much all we have to say about Bob Marley One Love.
We don't really have much to say because,
yeah,
I mean, everything it blends in with all of forgettable biopic.
Yeah, unfortunately,
biopic films. So, like I said, if you really want to see this, I'd say wait for streaming, and that's if you're a Bob Marley fan.
Yeah. It's like Mark said as well. Go watch the documentary Marley. That would definitely give you a much better insight who the man was, the myth, the legend, Bob Marley, than this movie. It's 2 hours long, so you'll really get more than enough of Bob Marley, some unseen footage, and you'll get to know more who Bob Marley was than his own biopic movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hey Rob, what are we reviewing next?
The next review we will be doing is Drive Away Dolls, directed by Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers. I'm probably the one looking forward to that the most.
Can we get a good movie this month, please?
Well, I mean, technically we got one decent movie, which was Orion in the Dark.
I keep forgetting to watch that.
So, I mean, it's not. I mean, I think it's a good movie. It's not great or a masterpiece or anything, but I mean, it's a decent movie. It's a hell of a lot better than a lot of the crap that we got this month.
Yeah.
Is it at least better than Ruby Gilman?
Oh yeah.
What's up, Austin?
Hey, Austin.
Oh, okay. Oh, Rome, can you bring John back?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that was my thoughts on the amazing Wait, hang on. Was I fucking in backstage the entire time? You had
I'll tell you what, John. Do you want to just give your thoughts on Madam Web since you're the only one that's seen it?
I thought it was funny. Okay, it was funny. Y'all need to stop getting your fucking panties in a bunch about stupid shit, all right? It's funny, it's stupid. Get drunk, get high, go watch it. Just don't drink and drive or smoke and fly. Just, be responsible, but get drunk. It's fun.
Okay.
Now comes the part
All I
where we
got.
throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready?
All right, but John, are you looking forward to next week's review?
I guess.
Man, when does this movie come
I
out?
don't know.
When you guys are reviewing?
I mean, I like
Next
the
Friday.
Coen brothers, but I'm not like, oh my god, the Coen brothers or one Coen brother. But like, I like the cast. I like Margaret Qualley and I like Pedro Pascal, even though it doesn't look like he's going to be in it for very long. But it seems like a fun time. Hopefully, it is.
Yeah, because I love No Country for Old Men, and I love Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski is one of my favorite movies. It's one of
Fucking
Lebowski's my
normie.
favorite.
I plan on watching. I do plan on watching the remake of True Grit and
True Grit. The remake of True Grit's good.
and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's an awesome one too. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I remember
But
seeing
again-
that when I was 11 years old.
But again, it's up to the randomizer.
All right.
Do as the randomizer abides.
Randomizer says kill the phonies. Yes, master. Please pick who. Shh. It shall be done, my master.
All right. So I guess we're ready to wrap it up.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. We made it past 30 minutes. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, everybody, have a good one. Catch us again for the next review next Saturday.
Bye.
Peace.
We have now brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.